Is this actually really happening right now?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Man, I know TenZ was teasing on his stream.
Is your only question about getting back to professional? Who knows? Who knows? You never know. I don't even know. You literally never know. The world works in mysterious ways.
The paperwork that needs to be done in order for this to proceed, I think is really huge. Like I said in the previous Sen video, the things that Sentinels and Riot needs to deal with was TenZ's sponsors and then his agency, because this guy is not taking, you know, basic salary money. The guy would not be taking coins as salary, you know. I think he would prefer gold. So, but kidding aside, what I'm trying to say is it would take a lot to get this guy back. You need to match or even offer a larger amount than what he's earning in his stream revenue. So yeah, and then other than that, you also need to work with his schedule, I think, because the guy's kind of busy and all that. So yeah, so what's gonna happen now? Because for sure TenZ is going to be part of the team, there's no question about it, because Robmore said this.
By the way, if you all like want to manifest TenZ returning, you know, like Tarek, you remember you did a whole thing with my players last year.
Which
and
one?
What did I say? Who did I say was my favorite player?
Yeah, TenZ.
Yeah, if TenZ wants to play, he can show up anytime, knock on my door, and I will figure out a spot on in the roster for him.
It's in his hands.
He just needs to walk in and say, Rob, I'm ready to go. I'm like,
I have really no doubt that if TenZ decides to come back, it's an instant slot for him. And now you also add in Jonah P. Whoa, power combo. And then how's the team gonna look like now? I think TenZ's era being the main entry duelist is over like ages ago. So I think how the roster would look would be reduxx on the main entry, and then John QD, Flex Initiator, Jonah P, Flex Initiator as well. TenZ would be on the smokes roll. Cortezia would be on the smokes roll as well. I mean, TenZ would be on the smokes flex, because I think I have heard him say before that he does not like anchoring, so that's not really his playstyle and all of that. So agents like Astra, Chamber, basically all Sentinels, all passive characters, he's not really comfortable of that playstyle. But my main take is if Sentinels are going to get TenZ back, then that basically means that they are going to run double duelists most of the time. Because I would say that TenZ is actually a Yoru specialist. He has praised this agent for years now, and he's actually also good with it. It's really such a bummer when he retired, because 2025 was kind of the year of Yoru, right? And then it's still continuing now. So I think he even diffed Asuna that one time on Bind where there was a double Yoru, mirror Yoru matchup, and back then Yoru was not really used that much. If Sentinels signed TenZ back, I think he would be on Yoru a lot. And now you gotta wonder that, is TenZ going to be able to get acclimated, or is he going to be able to hang with that playstyle now in 2026? Like he last played Pro 2024, so would he be able to hang with the new meta? I think that, come on man, is that even a valid question? Need I remind you that this guy actually chopped off the head of the tiger at the height of its power? If you don't know what I'm talking about, then watch this.
I mean, almost everyone is here. Both Paranoia's traded.
So if there's still a question if he can come back and dominate the game, then maybe it would take some time, but I think he will eventually get there. I just find it funny that we're still talking about Sentinels and they're not even in Master Santiago. I mean, NRG and G2 are on the brink of elimination. Still, the bigger news is TenZ might be coming back to the VCT. I mean, I may be the only one talking about it, but I think it's bigger news than whoever gets eliminated in Master Santiago. So yeah. And you know what could be a great possibility is if they can bring back Zekken. And you might think it's impossible, but there's a way. Like, hear me out. So they basically make this trade offer between Zekken and Cortezia, and the reasoning behind it is that what MIBR lacked in America's kickoff was that they're lacking a vibes guy to bring up the intensity of the team. Because you know, they were losing so much and they still looked chill. There was no sense of urgency, but sometimes you need that, you know? And I know that Tex is there, a vibes guy, but he's not that kind of guy who can bring up the intensity when needed. And as opposed to Cortezia is that guy. He can turn it up a notch at a moment's notice. And so what would happen is that Cortezia would go to MIBR and then be the smokes, which what he was playing when he was on tier 2, I think, right? And basically he's replacing zekken, so everything goes well, right? And so now on Sentinels you've got zekken, TenZ, John Cutie, reduxx, and who's the other guy? Jonah P. Banger team, man. A Sen fan couldn't ask for more. I think Sentinels should look into it. It can be a possibility. Trade Cortezia to zekken, and whatever the difference in the contract is, just pay the cash, you know. Anyway, putting all the silliness aside, earlier we asked about if TenZ can get back into things, into the swing of things, and there's no question that he can, but an even bigger question is, can they get to the level that these top teams are on right now? Because you see Paper Rex, and then NRG, you also have Nongshim, BBL, that we are waiting to see how they are gonna perform in Master Santiago. And then Sentinels are at home doing trials. So if you think about it, there's just a lot of ground to cover. Well, it's plenty of time until champs, right? I think champs would be on September, so basically 6 months. Is that enough time for this Sentinels team to actually, you know, be competitive? Either way, the bottom line is, if they have TenZ, then nothing would matter because they would instantly be clout farming again. All the attention are on them. I mean, I think I said in a previous video that it's bad for the new players to have these kinds of attention because the lights are too bright, something like that. But now we don't have Caillou, and who's the other guy, Narrate, who seems to stumble on the bright lights. He just can't figure things out. So that argument now only applies to reduxx, which I think that if you're surrounded by John Cutie, then TenZ, former champions, then Jonah P, a veteran and can also be a leader of the team, and you also have Cortezia who has international stage experience, then I think they can help reduxx get the hang of it, you know, of being in the limelight, of being the talk of the town. So, and I think reduxx is chill enough to be, you know, that kind of guy who just takes everything in and be in the moment and be on the spotlight, be the next guy up once TenZ leaves again. So going back, having all the attention in the world will not be bad for this team now. Business wise, it would be really good if TenZ comes back. But this is an interesting mix because unlike the previous clout team when Shroud was there, if TenZ gets into this team, not only they would have clout, but they could also be competitive. Because think about it, Jonah P is now trying to prove himself that G2 made a mistake on dropping him. And for John Cutie, it's proving to Kaplan that he was supposed to be the IGL of this team, that Kaplan made a mistake. For reduxx, he's trying to prove that he belongs in tier 1, that he can hang with the best. And then for Cortezia, maybe he's trying to prove that MIBR made a mistake, and he also have another chip on his shoulder with Rob Moore trusting him and not, you know, kicking him out together with Caillou and Narrate. So it's now time to pay back that gratitude and play well. And as for TenZ, I'm not sure. In game, like, you know, accolades wise, he does not have anything to prove. Maybe win a Champions Trophy and the MVP bracelet. Honestly, he could just be bored, that's why he's doing this. But I'm pretty sure we all know that a heartbreak can do something to you, you know? I really don't want to talk about it, but it's just part of his lore now. So basically, all of these guys have some kind of chips on their shoulder. They're trying to prove something. If TenZ really comes back, I hope his mission this time around is to finally claim the throne, because there are so many other players now that are on the race. And yeah, there's just no proven GOAT of the game yet. Unlike in League of Legends, you know, Faker is the GOAT, everybody knows that. I don't even watch League of Legends, but the way he transcends barriers of, you know, social media and topics and all that, I hope TenZ is now realizing that this is the path that was set for him, that he needs to take and that he needs to claim. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think TenZ is really coming back to the VCT? If you have a percentage, maybe drop it down in the comments below. And as always, I'll be down there reading your comments, so leave a like if you enjoyed, hit that sub button so you don't miss out, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.